True knowledge becomes abundant. To whom does God reveal his true knowledge to? The prophet Amos tells us at 3, 7, and 8. For the Lord himself will not do a single thing unless he's revealed this confidential matter to his servants the prophets. There was a lion who's roared. Who would not be afraid? The sovereign Lord himself has spoken. Who will not prophesy? Daniel was one who spoke about the confidential matters of the true God. Yes, he prophesied. Let's look at some examples of this. First, we have the example of Nebuchadnezzar, where he had a dream, and he could not understand that dream. But no one could reveal this dream to him. Matter of fact, people were going to lose their lives over the fact that no one could reveal this dream. Daniel prayed to the living God and asked for the secret to be revealed to him, and our God answered. Our Father in heaven was loving enough and merciful with us. So Daniel 2, 19 through 23, Daniel prayed to have that vision revealed. And there was some very unique things that Daniel said about, giving praise to God. I encourage you to read that. However, he says, there exists a God in heaven who is the revealer of secrets, and he has made known to you, King Nebuchadnezzar, what is to occur in the final part of the days, your dream and your visions upon your head in your bed. Daniel humbled himself so he could receive understanding of the deep things of God. This was a sacred secret. Also, revealing the information spared Daniel's life from the king's death order. Our wanting to look into the prophecies and trying to learn more about these deep things of God will also help spare our lives too. Notice what he prophesied about the time of the end, found at Daniel chapter 12. He discloses that many will rove about in the time of the end, and true knowledge will become abundant. The angel told him to go and seal up the book. And he says in verse 10, many will cleanse themselves and will be refined, and the wicked will certainly act wickedly, and no wicked one will understand, but those having insight will understand. True knowledge will become abundant in the time of the end, and those having the insight will shine as they glorify our God and his Son, Yeshua, or the Messiah. Now let's look at what the Apostle Paul had to say about this at Romans 1:17. I'll read that for you. For in this God's righteousness is being revealed by reason of faith and toward faith, just as it is written, but the righteous one, by means of faith, will live. Again, 1 Corinthians 2:6 through 16. We speak of wisdom, a sacred secret, the hidden wisdom. And he speaks about, eye has not seen and ear has not heard, and neither has been convinced in the hearts of men the things that God has prepared for those who love him. For God has revealed it through the Spirit, because the Spirit searches into the deep things of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit is from God. And so the things that we speak are taught by God, by the Spirit, as we combine spiritual matters into physical words. The physical man does not understand the things of God. An in-depth study of the Scriptures and the benefit of doing so are as follows. Hebrews 5:14 through chapter 6:3. I'll read that one for you. But solid food belongs to mature people, to those who through their perceptive powers are trained to distinguish both right and wrong. For reason now that we have left the primary doctrine about the Christ, let us press on to maturity, not laying a foundation again, namely on repentance from dead works, faith toward God, and the teaching of baptisms, the laying on of the hands and the resurrection of the dead, and the everlasting judgment. And this we will do if God does indeed permit. As disciples of Jesus Christ, we may not see ourselves as prophets, but we should certainly see ourselves as spiritually mature people, or at least slaves of God. 1 Peter 1:10 through 12 talked about those who had sought salvation. They kept investigating on what particular season the Spirit in them was ministering about the things that pertain to Christ. Here's something interesting. Even the angels are desiring to peer in such things. Notice what the Apostle John had to say at Revelation 1:1. A revelation by Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his slaves the things that must shortly take place. And he sent forth his angel and presented it in signs to him. So, brothers, sisters, I pray you encourage all of you to become noble-minded, better disposed, and search the scriptures of the holy writings to examine to see if these things are so. Acts 17:11.